Hey, your boy Snoop Dogg been a lot of things, but lately he ain't been loyal to nothing or nobody in my opinion. Shout out to Hood War Chronicles. They documented another situation where he ain't showing too much loyalty. Let's get into it.
Nip Hussle, aka Go Get It, at the speed of a marathon, taking his time, going down the line to find peace of mind. And Nipsey Hussle, man, that's my dear brother right there. Nipsey is he's a South Central legend. He was a businessman. He was a leader, a teacher, a father, an entrepreneur.
What they call you? Where you from?
The big homie.
Yes, sir.
TV superstar. Neighborhood star. Come on, man, you look good up here, man. I like the new.
Hey, demonstrate for hustle. This is what I'm telling you. Don't come over here. Don't come over here trying to. Then guess what? Go do something and come back. Go get cracking and come back. That's what I said, bro.
Snoop Dogg's alleged two-faced and traitorous behavior has been a topic of discussion among hip-hop fans for quite some time now. Over the years, many have side-eyed Snoop's actions, questioning his loyalty, especially when it comes to the people he claims to support. Now, it seems like another important name might be joining the list of those frowning at Snoop's moves, none other than Blacc Sam, the older brother of the late Nipsey Hussle. And honestly, it's not hard to see why. Snoop Dogg and Nipsey Hussle had a close relationship. Snoop supported Nipsey throughout his music career and always spoke highly of him.
Mr. Nip Hussle, aka Go Get It, at the speed of a marathon, taking his time, going down the line to find peace of mind.
When Nipsey was killed in 2019, Snoop was one of the people who spoke at his memorial, showing love and paying tribute.
Every time I would see Nip and Lauren out, they reminded me of me and my wife. It was like black excellence. You love to see that.
Blacc Sam saw Snoop as a real friend of the family. In fact, in 2022, Blacc Sam even surprised Snoop with a special care package from the Marathon clothing brand. It had exclusive items that they only gave to people who truly supported Nip during his life. That shows the kind of respect and love Blacc Sam had for Snoop. But all of that seems to have changed recently. Snoop has been seen spending time with Big U, the very same person that many people believe was connected to Nipsey's death. That's a major red flag, especially considering the deep problems Nipsey had with Big U. Everyone who followed Nipsey's journey knows there was serious tension between him and Big U.
What they call you? Where you from?
Nipsey never hid how he felt. He openly warned others to stay away from Big U and even released a diss track called You Don't Got a Clue. In that song, Nipsey rapped, "I built this on my own and everybody know it's true. Still dudes act like they supposed to have control of what I do."
Everybody know it's true. Still act like they supposed to have control of what I.
Those bars were aimed directly at Big U, calling out the idea that anyone, especially Big U, had power over him. If the fans knew about this beef, then there's no way Snoop didn't know. So the big question is, why would Snoop still hang out with someone like Big U? To make things worse, Snoop has been accused of helping promote Big U's so-called extortion schemes. Big U is known in the industry for making rappers check in with him when they come to LA, a practice Nipsey Hussle stood firmly against. According to multiple sources, Nipsey stopped paying Big U for protection, and many believe that decision played a role in his murder.
Everybody know Big U and Nipsey had an argument, homie. Everybody know Big U was shaking Nipsey Hussle down, making him pay protection fee, sorta. Nipsey Hussle got smart and say, I don't want to pay you $20,000 a month no more. And Nipsey Hussle come up dead. He lost his protection, and the hood killed him. We all know this, homie.
Big U even created a whole show called Checking In, which highlights his power in the streets. And guess who showed up as a guest on that show? Snoop Dogg.
The big homie.
Yes, sir.
TV superstar. Neighborhood star. Come on, man, you look good up here, man. I like the new.
Blacc Sam in particular never liked Big U. Even during the brief time when Nipsey and Big U squashed their beef, Sam made it clear that he didn't trust Big U and didn't want him around. One major reason for that was the death of their childhood friend, Stephen Giles Fats Donaldson. Fats was like a brother to both Nip and Sam. In 2017, he was killed in a drive-by shooting, and rumor has it Big U had something to do with it. The story goes that Fats confronted Big U for pressing Nipsey, and just a week after that incident, Fats was gone.
Big U tried to take off on Nip, and Fats took off on Big U and set him on his pockets in front of everybody. A week later, Fats was out of here.
That's why Blacc Sam has always been solid in his stance. He's been fearless when it comes to defending his brother against Big U. One major example was when Nipsey dropped You Don't Got a Clue. As soon as Big U heard the track, he and some of his people allegedly pulled up on Nipsey to confront him. But they didn't just want to check him, they wanted to discipline him. And in street terms, that meant something serious.
Nipsey dissed, right? And he was like, hey, cuz, is this song about me? So Nipsey stood up or whatever and was like, yeah, cuz. So he was drinking some water out of a water bottle and he threw it on Nipsey, right? And was like, we're gonna have to go get down or whatever. So he thought Nipsey was gonna back down. Nipsey stood up.
They supposedly planned to take him away for a DP, disciplinary action. But before things could go any further, Blacc Sam stepped in. Blacc Sam stood his ground and told Big U straight up, Nipsey wasn't going anywhere with them.
Blacc Sam said, cuz my brother ain't going nowhere. You was like, in front of the hood or whatever like that. He was like, my brother ain't going nowhere.
Then there was another incident where Big U confronted Nipsey and it turned into a full-blown fight. According to sources, Big U actually got the upper hand and beat Nipsey down. But before things could go any further, Blacc Sam ran inside, grabbed a pistol, and fired a warning shot in the air to break things up.
You knock Nipsey out, Blacc Sam comes out, fires 3-4 shots in the air. He's fresh out the penitentiary. Police sitting right across the street, they see it. They come in, they arrest everybody.
And even after his brother was killed, by the very same people, Blacc Sam hasn't changed his stance one bit. In fact, he seems even more fearless, standing on business and protecting Nipsey's legacy at all costs. Nipsey wasn't just his little brother, he was like his other half. Sam always had Nip's back, and Nip always had Sam's. Sadly, on the day Nipsey was killed, Blacc Sam wasn't there. A heartbreaking video later came out showing Sam trying to save Nipsey's life with his own hands.
My friend, am I doing this? Look!
Ever since then, Sam has stood even stronger, making sure nobody disrespects his brother's name. So seeing Snoop Dogg hanging around Big U has likely made Sam question everything. At this point, it wouldn't be surprising if Blacc Sam no longer sees Snoop Dogg the same way. Just like he's called out others who disrespected Nip's name, he may now put Snoop in that same category. A perfect example of this happened at the grand opening of Marathon Burger in Los Angeles, a restaurant Blacc Sam opened to honor Nipsey. That day, he got into a heated argument with Westbluv D Crip rock star 2800. It's not exactly clear what started it, but from the video, it seemed like Blacc Sam made it clear. Anybody who didn't take action against the people who disrespected Nipsey Hussle wasn't welcome around them anymore. He wasn't entertaining any fake love.
If the ain't demonstrating for Hustle, this is what I'm telling you. Don't come over here trying to then guess what? Go do something and come back. Go get cracking and come back. That's what I said, bro.
Even when Rockstar tried to defend himself, Blacc Sam wasn't having it. He sent him on his way right then and there. And it didn't stop there.
Nobody disrespected, bro, in my prison. I'm talking on the internet. When you see that internet shit is weak, bro. When you see it, you know where my heart is. When you see it, get cracked. I can't tell.
Another person who got pressed by Blacc Sam was Brick Baby, who to this day remains friends with Eric Holder, the man who shot and killed Nipsey. Blacc Sam confronted him about it, making it known that keeping ties with Nipsey's killer wasn't going to slide.
Me and Sam had a disagreement.
I mean, was it because of the shitty cuz thing?
Yeah, that's why I said over the obvious. You know what it was over. It basically was like, you rocking with him? Like, you rocking with him, nigga? I'm rocking with my brother. And we, you know, it really wasn't no words at first. It was all action.
According to Brick Baby, even though he doesn't agree with what Eric Holder did, he still considers him a friend because Holder once saved his life.
And it's like, I'm rocking with him. What you want me to say? I'm rocking with cuz. Like, saved my life before. I ain't rocking with him over that what he did.
But in a wild twist of fate, Brick Baby himself is now in custody, alongside Big U. Blacc Sam has also subtly hinted at the possibility that Big U may have had something to do with his brother's death. One thing Blacc Sam said during an interview with Big Boy TV Out was how there were big politics involved with certain people.
But there was a lot of big politics getting into it with certain people.
He even mentioned how Nipsey had brought DJ Khaled to the hood, which turned into a major issue. Nipsey had linked up with DJ Khaled and John Legend for the song Higher and planned to shoot the music video in the 60s. But as the story goes, as soon as Big U heard about it, things took a turn. Allegedly, he sent a gang of Rollin' 60s members to press Nipsey about it, but Nipsey, being who he was, stood his ground.
Hustle had DJ Khaled in the hood, and Hustle frontline that, and you know, we felt like certain people didn't like that.
Blacc Sam didn't mention Big U by name, but everybody knew exactly who he was talking about. Big U always had a problem with artists coming into the hood without checking in, and Nipsey wasn't trying to play that game. Nipsey always had a bigger vision. He wanted to unite the community, bring Bloods and Crips together, and work towards something bigger than gang politics. That's why he worked with YG, an active Blood, to show that unity was possible. But that went against Big U's vision, and it made Nipsey a target.
What about like YG and Mustard?
My homies, man. Shout out to YG and Mustard. We clicked up in LA. We got a move. YG can come to our hood. He's a Blood. He's from Peru. He can come to the 60s. I can go over there. I've been over there with my jewelry on and being myself, and they, you know, they respect it. They love it. I was unheard of. You couldn't do that, you know. Right. So it's different right now.
Blacc Sam standing on business against a group as dangerous as the Rollin' 60s, especially after they were responsible for taking out his brother, was no small thing. But instead of backing down, he's only doubled down, continuing to protect Nipsey's name and pushing forward with the mission they both believed in. As for Snoop, it's like history is repeating itself because this same pattern happened with Tupac. For years, people have called Snoop the ultimate betrayer when it comes to Pac, and even Pac himself called Snoop out before he died.
He's what about him? It's an open, free business. But I just know he'll have more problems without us than he would with us.
If you look at Snoop's history, there are way too many moments where his loyalty to Pac was questioned.
Yeah, I agree. Like, Snoop been one of my favorite artists coming up, but lately Snoop just ain't been who I expect Snoop to be. Just real two-faced to me. You know, I don't know, man. How y'all feel about it? Leave it in the comments section. Let's talk about it. Let's continue.
One of the biggest betrayals was when he worked with someone who was allegedly involved in Tupac's murder. Big Dre was supposedly in the car the night Pac was shot. A lot of people point the finger at Orlando Anderson, but others believe Big Dre was the real shooter. And what did Snoop do? He worked with him. After Pac died, Big Dre started his own label, Runoff Records, and put out a mixtape called Hard White. That tape featured some big names: Warren G, MC8, and Snoop Dogg.
Just sitting in my dining room, flipping through the source, reminiscing about my style before it was yours.
When that news broke, people were pissed. First off, how did Big Dre even get the money to lock in those features? And second, why was Snoop working with someone who might have had a hand in Pac's death? To a lot of folks, that was all the proof they needed about where Snoop really stood when it came to Pac.
Suge Knight revealing that, you know, Snoop, he worked with Big Dre after Tupac got killed. And when I heard that, man, that was wild. For you to be working with somebody that was in the car with Keefy D when Tupac got shot, that's crazy, man.
That's crazy, bro. Like, if you know this dude 100% is in a car with a person that killed your boy and you do a song with him, it just really shows how you always felt about Pac.
And now, it looks like he pulled the same move with Nipsey. He maintained a relationship with someone who was completely against everything Nipsey stood for. Eventually, Nipsey was killed. And just like clockwork, Snoop was at the forefront, singing his praises, giving speeches, and making sure everybody knew how much he loved Nipsey. But to fans, it just feels hypocritical now.
Man, Nipsey Hussle, man, that's my dear brother right there. Nipsey is he's a South Central legend. He was a businessman. He was a leader, a teacher, a father, an entrepreneur.
And the same thing happened with Tupac. After getting called out for his shady moves, Snoop completely switched up. Suddenly, in every interview, he was praising Pac, acting like they were best friends. It looked like straight-up damage control, like he was trying to clean up his image and make people forget all the questionable moves he made after Pac's death. But even while he was praising Pac, he would still slip up. Snoop has been caught twisting the truth or straight up lying about certain moments with Tupac. For instance, one of the most famous ones is when he claimed that Tupac was the first person to ever give him a blunt.
I finally got a chance to meet Pac in 1993 at a rap party for Poetic Justice in LA. And on that night, Pac passed me my first blunt.
Now, at first glance, that might sound like a cool story, but when you actually break it down, it doesn't add up. Snoop met Tupac when he was already 21 years old, and by that time, he was deep into the smoking lifestyle.
Yeah. No, for real. That's right. Tupac is the one that got Snoop Dogg smoking blunts.
To make things even more obvious, actress Cameron Diaz, who went to the same high school as Snoop, has publicly said that she used to buy weed from him back in the day.
You know Snoop Double G?
I did. Well, we went to high school together. He was a year older than me. He was very tall and skinny, wore lots of ponytails in his head, and I'm pretty sure I bought weed from him.
That means Snoop was already dealing with blunts way before he even crossed paths with Tupac. And that's not the only story Snoop has made up about Tupac. Snoop once claimed that when Tupac was behind bars, he was in danger and facing serious issues. He went on to say that he was the one who urged Suge Knight to bail Tupac out of prison to keep him safe.
Was Tupac having issues when he was in prison? Because I know Snoop, he always say that he was hearing bad things, so he told Suge Knight to get him out.
However, this story has been refuted by Napoleon, a close friend and member of Tupac's Outlawz crew. Napoleon dismissed Snoop's tale, stating that Tupac was actually well-liked in prison, making friends and taking pictures with people.
That's a false narrative that I think Snoop was pushing. You know what I mean? Pac, for a fact, he wasn't really... He had a lot of, like, he used to send us pictures, and his pictures on the internet when he was taking pictures with New York dudes up in Clip. I guess people, they like to say that so then they can vouch for some other rumors that's being spread about Pac to try to put dirt on his name. You know what I mean? So it wasn't a fact that he was disliked, he was holding it down.
He mentioned that during their visits to Tupac, Pac never once mentioned feeling threatened or unsafe. According to Napoleon, although Tupac was eager to get out of prison because, let's be real, who wants to be locked up? It wasn't because Snoop asked Suge Knight to pull some strings.
We used to go visit him monthly, some of us weekly. I can't recall him saying anything where he felt like he was in danger. You know what I mean? Like, not one time. He wasn't like, hey, I'm good. Y'all just go do your thing and leave me alone. No, he wanted to come home, but he definitely wasn't having any issue.
Snoop Dogg's tendency to embellish stories doesn't stop there. Another time he got caught in a lie was about the infamous MTV Video Music Awards incident involving Tupac and Nas. On Nas's second album, The Message, he claimed the King of New York crown and threw shots at Biggie and Jay-Z. But somehow Pac thought the opening line, "Fake thug, no love, you get the slug, CB4 gusto," was aimed at him.
Thug, no love, you get the slug, CB4 gusto, your luck low, I didn't know till I was...
Suddenly, Nas was caught in the crossfire of Tupac's growing list of enemies, alongside Biggie, Puff Daddy, and Bad Boy Records. The tension between Tupac and Nas came to a head at the 1996 MTV Video Music Awards, where the two bumped into each other. Snoop Dogg later told a story about this encounter, claiming that Nas had rolled in with about 100 shooters from Queens who started to surround the Death Row crew. According to Snoop, Nas didn't want any trouble, not because he couldn't handle it, but because he chose to keep the peace.
But Nas had 100 with guns.
Right.
So listen to what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
By me saying he didn't want none didn't mean he didn't punk out. It mean he just didn't want to
go there.
Snoop described how Pac was going off on Nas, throwing insults, completely unaware that Nas's crew had them surrounded and could have easily taken them out.
Pac can even see them, because I got a gangbang mentality. I seen when start circling and putting their hands in their pockets while Pac is in this ear telling I made a song dissing you, Jay-Z.
Snoop's version painted Pac as a reckless hothead and Nas as a cool, collected leader. But apparently Snoop wasn't even there when this went down. According to Napoleon, who was actually there as one of Tupac's crew, Snoop's version of the story is completely off. Instead of the tense showdown Snoop described, Napoleon says Tupac and Nas were pretty respectful toward each other when they crossed paths.
Pac wasn't disrespecting Nas at all. You know, I know Snoop said Pac punked Nas and then went to Snoop and said, you see how I got these New York dudes? None of that happened, bro. It was a mutual respect thing.
Pac never disrespected Nas like Snoop claimed. In fact, it was more of a mutual respect thing. They talked it out and cleared up the misunderstanding between them right there.
When Pac and Nas met each other, it was nobody talking disrespect from both sides. Maybe the people behind Nas and the people behind Pac was me mugging, saying certain things, but Pac and Nas handled it like real gentlemen.
Pac even went as far as to promise that once he got back to LA, he would remove Nas's name from any diss tracks where it was mentioned. Sadly, Tupac was killed shortly after and never got the chance to follow through. To top it off, Napoleon also doesn't remember Snoop being there at all during this incident. Nas himself even confirmed that Snoop got the story wrong.
I heard Snoop told the story a few times, but he had it wrong a little bit. He had said that Pac slipped him. And nobody was really there. Yeah, we had a great convo.
Another interesting thing is that not too long ago, Snoop admitted in an interview on Big Boy TV that he wasn't really a fan of Tupac's diss tracks, adding another layer to their complicated dynamic.
Even when he played Hit 'Em Up the song, I didn't like the song.
Did you feel like it was
I didn't
too
like
much?
it. You buying more problems, cuz.
Napoleon and Reggie Wright Jr. were absolutely blown away by Snoop's words because apparently it was just another one of Snoop's lies.
He was expressing his love for Hit 'Em Up. He was in the studio bopping his head. He was on the stage when Pac was performing it, singing the lyrics with him at the House of Blues.
Snoop's a motherfucking lie. Look at him on the stage at the House of Blues. Look at him.
Now, all of Snoop's lies about Tupac might be tied to the rumors that he never really liked Pac that much. First of all, Snoop Dogg's apparent betrayal may have stemmed from the very moment Tupac joined Death Row. A lot of insiders claim that Snoop was jealous when Tupac joined Death Row. Before Pac got there, Snoop was the biggest star on the label. But the moment Pac walked in, he took over, getting all the attention, and that didn't sit well with Snoop. And that jealousy started creeping into everything. One of the biggest moments that really broke their friendship happened after Tupac dropped Hit 'Em Up. At that point, things were already tense between Death Row and Bad Boy Records. In 1996, when they were in New York for the MTV Video Music Awards, Snoop started acting funny. First, he skipped out on a rehearsal for a planned Saturday Night Live appearance with Tupac. Then he went on a local New York radio station and publicly said, "I got nothing but love for Biggie and Puffy." Now, this was obviously a huge slap in the face to Tupac, but according to insiders, Pac wasn't mad just because Snoop said he had love for Biggie. The real reason Tupac was pissed was because just a few days before, Snoop had been in the studio with him recording diss tracks aimed at Biggie and Puffy. And then out of nowhere, Snoop goes on the radio and acts like everything is cool. That felt like betrayal.
Pac was angry not only because they said, not just because of that interview. A couple weeks before that, people don't know that Pac and Snoop did songs dissing Biggie. I remember hearing it. But Pac looking at it like, come on, man, you were just in LA dissing him with me. Now you on the radio saying something different. You know what I mean? So I think that triggered some type of attention.
Unfortunately, before they ever got the chance to really talk it out, Pac was killed. And Snoop would later say, the reason they never patched things up was because Pac just didn't understand that he never had hate for Biggie.
You know, I don't think we was really on good terms before he died, because he didn't really understand the way. I didn't really have no hate towards Biggie. I didn't really feel like he should continue to, to get at Biggie.
But to a lot of people, that excuse doesn't make sense. If Snoop never had a problem with Biggie, then why was he in the booth making diss records with Pac in the first place? Why play both sides? A lot of people believe that he was undermining Tupac's feelings, acting like Pac was the one who overreacted. Snoop Dogg is still a respected figure in the hip-hop community, but people are starting to notice these patterns with him, and it's making them question just how much that respect is truly deserved.
Man, that's crazy. Yo, so I wanted to say I'm speaking in fair use for critiquing, criticism, educational purposes, all that beyond, but I just briefly wanted to say, listen, like I said a little while ago, Snoop started off as one of my favorite rap artists. But as time has went on, stories have came out, situations have unfolded, and he just don't seem like a stand-up dude that he presents himself to be. That's just me personally, honestly, feeling like the situation, he has been caught up in a lot of lies behind Pac. Like everything that they just explained. To me, those are big situations and big deals to be running around here lying about. I don't understand what is the purpose for the lies, but Snoop just is an unsavory character, and for you to be rocking out with Big U and everybody, I don't know, man. It just seems like Snoop has no loyalty to nothing but himself. And I mean, in certain cases, that might be cool. It might be all right for some. But you present yourself to be a loyal dude to loyal situations. it's just looking real crazy right now. Man, how do y'all feel about this, man? Leave it in the comment section. Is Snoop two-faced it? Or is he just the guy who feels like, yo, I'm going to move as my own man and do what I'm supposed to do as a man? Like, which one is it? Because he comes across like he has loyalty for Pac in all these situations, but then at the same time, seems like he just don't care about nobody but himself. You let me know. Leave it in the comment section. It's your boy Kaotic One. This right here is the KMHP TV YouTube channel, home of reactions, short documentaries, music videos, and all that. The good, the bad, the ugly of the music, film, everyday life industry. You gonna hear it and see it right here on this channel. Until the next video, I'ma holla. Peace.